it's Elise here at Bowman Library in the teen area with a whole new teen book spotlight. For this week, we are taking a look at some of the amazing new books that have come in over the past couple of weeks here at the library. And we always have new stuff coming in, and which is amazing. So we're going to take a look at 6 new books, but I can promise you and guarantee you that we have more than just these 6. So make sure you check out that section every single time you come in. So let's take a look at what we have. Our first one is called The How and the Why by Cynthia Hand. So the whole time she has been growing up, Cassandra has known that she's been adopted by her incredibly loving parents. Turning 18 though, she decides she wants to start finding out who her birth parents are. She wants to know the how and the why. Running into multiple dead ends, she starts to wonder if she'll ever know the truth. Interspersed through this story, though, are letters that were written by Cassandra's birth mother to her as an unborn child. As you read these letters, you start to get a clear picture of the events leading up to the decision for adoption. Cassandra's friends and family are truly realistic and supportive, and you as the reader will be so glad that you went on this journey with Cassandra as she tries to complete her sense of self. When I read this book, I will tell you, you will enjoy this book. It is incredibly realistic, which is something is kind of hard to find when dealing with this type of topic, but you will love this book, The How and the Why. Agnes at the End of the World by Kelly McWilliams. And I will tell you this before I get into the whole premise. I am reading this book right now, and it is so good. Like, as much as I love coming to work here, I wish I almost could have stayed home today to finish this book because it is so good. So Agnes is a follower of the Prophet, along with her family and everyone else she lives with in the town of Red Creek. As a plague ravages the planet, the Prophet believes his people are safe and they are chosen survivors. In Red Creek, though, women and girls are submissive to men and no one can accept help from the outside. Agnes's younger brother Ezekiel has type 1 diabetes and needs insulin to survive. The Prophet believes that he is saved with prayer, but Agnes knows better, and she starts to have these secret meetings with a nurse from the outside. As the Prophet starts to make plans for everyone to move into an underground bunker, Agnes knows something is not right, and she needs to start making decisions that will impact her and everyone she loves. You will not want to put this one down. You will need to know, like me, I need to know what happens to Agnes. I want to finish this book. Agnes at the End of the World. Then, on a completely different note, this is Mike by Andrew Norris. So Floyd's whole life has revolved around him training to become a tennis great. Training since he could walk, the goal is being one of the youngest ever to play at Wimbledon. Lately at practices, though, this mysterious guy named Mike starts to show up, and he becomes even more annoyed, Floyd does, when he starts to realize that no one else can see Mike but him. Floyd is then sent to a sports psychologist named Dr. Pinner, who helps Floyd realize that maybe Floyd isn't doing what he wants to be doing after all. Maybe tennis is not what Floyd really wants to do. But how does Floyd make that decision? And how does he tell his parents, who have basically invested their whole lives into his tennis greatness? With this being a situation that everyone can relate to, maybe not with trying to become a tennis great, but trying not to disappoint our parents, you will find yourself relating to Floyd and cheering him on to make the decisions he wants for his life. This is Mike. The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. This book is so good. And there's a sequel that just came out. So when the real Guinevere dies, Merlin does the only thing he can think of, and he decides to send his daughter to pretend to be Guinevere and marry King Arthur in order to protect him from any threats. This is important as the king's life may be in danger, and the pretend Guinevere can do magic. even though magic is banned from use in Camelot. As she starts to grow closer to Arthur, though, she starts to become leery of Merlin's true motives and starts to question her mission, as she cannot even remember her real name. Guinevere decides that she needs to choose her own destiny. This is the first in an epic adventure fantasy trilogy. Again, the second one just came out. You will want to know what happens next. As soon as you are done with this one, you will want to read the second one, and then you will be probably so disappointed you're gonna have to wait for the third one. Guinevere Deception. Oh, this one sounds so good. This is Bloom by Kenneth Apple. And he's just great to begin with anyways. So on Salt Spring Island off the coast of Vancouver, something weird starts to happen. After days of torrential rain, these strange black pointy plants start to appear all over the island, and no one knows what they are. But they soon start to realize these plants are appearing not just on this island, but all over the world. The plants start to grow super fast, and it is discovered that they have the ability to not only choke things, including humans, but they can spit acid, and then they can also emit a sweet smelling gas that make people sleep. As scientists, military, and leaders from all over the world are trying to run against the clock and figure out what the deal is with these plants, there are 3 teens on the island: Anya, Petra, and Seth, and they realize that the plants have 0 effect on them, and that maybe they are immune, or they could possibly be something completely different. Maybe they are inhuman. The first in the trilogy, you will be on the edge of your seat as you read about this crazy situation of horror and adventure. What would you do if you were in this situation? Just craziness. Bloom. And our last one is In the Hall with the Knife by Diana Pitcher-Front. So it's winter at the Blackbrook Academy, located on a remote island off the coast of Maine. I don't know what it is about Maine this year, but I feel like almost every book that's come out new this year takes place in Maine. I don't really know why, but it does. When a violent storm strikes and the island is cut off from the mainland, the students left at the school soon discover that the headmaster has been murdered, and they have no idea by who, so they decide they need to work together to figure out who the culprit is, because that person could still be on the island with them, leaving them all at risk to be murdered as well. As they continue their search, secrets and backstories soon start to emerge, and no one really knows who their fellow classmates really are. Told in alternating viewpoints, you as the reader are the one that sees all of the clues, while the characters only see certain ones. The first in the trilogy, you'll be trying to solve the crime along with the characters as if you were actually playing the game of Clue, because this is inspired by the amazing board game of Clue. I challenge you to try to solve the murder before it is revealed in the story, but I will tell you this, it may not be what you think it is. In the Hall with the Knife. So again, these are just 6 of the new books that we have here, and we have way more. So again, make sure you check out the new book section next time you come into the library. I hope you all have a great week, and I hope you tune back for a new teen book spotlight next week.